I'm your host, Siraj Ra-King. I'm Pooh Akhenaten Hotep, and I am here with a phenomenal poet by the name of that fellow. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, man? It's good to be back.
Man, it's glad to have you back on a new platform. You know what I'm saying? Last time I had you was on the radio.
Yeah, that was a cool experience.
Right.
Man.
Hey, but now we on TV. Say hey, mom. Like,
Hey, Mom, it's like, hey, everybody. What's up, H-Town and all
yeah.
surrounding areas and whoever's tuning in.
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
it's good to see you and it's good to be seen.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up,
Yeah.
man. How you
So,
been doing, bro? It's been a
Man,
minute.
I've been doing all right. I've been
I
doing
see you
all
got
right.
your new merch, man.
Man, I'm trying. I'm venturing into that
Yeah.
realm, man. It's,
Yeah.
my year started off kind of hot. I had to go in. Life started happening, so I had to take care of some things.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, everything's been great. I think the last time I was here, I was promoting my book,
Yeah.
my book launch.
Yeah.
Had a great start.
Yeah.
Man, I got to get back on pushing it. But my book launch went great. I've been doing a few shows,
Yeah,
few requests,
yeah.
things like that. Man, I hooked up with We Go Live. That was
Okay.
awesome. I've been going to their shows for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna be a part of the
Cipher.
the cipher.
You did the cipher?
I did the cipher.
Okay.
And then Scott Free was like, yo, we want you to be a part of the show. And I was like, word.
That's fire.
And I appreciate it. So, man, love what they do at We Go Live. Love working with Scott and Courtney Lynn. Man, they do a phenomenal job. And Nikki the Kid.
How was
the
that
host.
experience, man, performing with a We Go Live show?
Man, it's a party.
Yeah.
Man, it's a party. And they treat their artists like top notch, man.
Yeah.
They work real hard. They work real hard to put on a great show, great production. Man, the lights with Trust the Shooter with Dame.
The
Man,
production is
it's off
keep
the
getting
chain.
better and better and better. That's what I
Yeah.
noticed. With everybody that's doing shows, the production is getting better
Yeah.
and better and better.
What you see in front of the camera, man,
Right.
that's just what you see in that square.
Yeah.
But I get a chance to see, like, at least, I show up early and stuff and see the work that people are putting in. They be sweating.
Yeah.
They be working real hard before, and it's just like them and Puff Puff Poetry.
I was about to ask you about them.
Yeah, I did their anniversary show last year,
Right.
the all white anniversary show.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been blessed.
Right.
Like in the calendar year, since the last time we spoke, I've been real blessed. Still working with Black Snow and Snow Industries and being a part of their
That's
shows.
how you got in the game with Black Snow, right?
Right.
I kind of remember that from the last time we talked.
Yeah, man, I met him. He was doing open mic at a place over in Mo City.
What year was this now?
Man, like 2019.
Okay, that's not
Yeah,
too late.
so-
That's okay. Yeah.
So, I went, a friend of mine invited me, and I went, I killed the mic. He invited me to come out he was doing a show on every third Saturday in Midtown, at Midtown Bar and Grill. And I knew at that point in time I was onto something, and I tell this story all the time, man. You're not quite sure if what you're saying or your content is touching the people, reaching the people, what have you. But when an OG like Black Snow is like, hey, I need you to come over here and blaze the mic over here. We got a place for you, to do some things. And at that time, I'm not anybody at that time. And that's where the name That Fellow came from, because like, who is that fellow? So at least in my mind.
Yeah.
So the name just stuck, the moniker just stuck, and started doing shows with him, and he actually invited me to be a part of a big production that they did. They had a poet drop out, and from then on, man, it's just been, pedal to the flow, and just keep going. So, and hanging around them influenced me to write my book and do some other things, man.
So were you
I've
like
been
a
working.
fan of poetry first? Going as a fan, watching shows?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
So when did you start writing poetry?
When
When
I
did
was
that start?
14.
Okay, so you've been writing,
Yeah, I've been writing.
but you never performed.
Nope.
Okay, you said no.
I mean, nah, because, that's real intimate when you let somebody in,
Yeah.
right? And when you're writing poetry, it's not like you just come right out the box and well, at least for me, I didn't come right out the box and say I'm revolutionary or I'm saying this for the people. It was my feelings, man. My first poems, because I had my heart broken.
Yeah,
You know,
man,
so,
hey.
so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
writing about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, you know, I had a buddy of mine, and I mean, dude, we wanted to be rappers. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna spoof some lyrics, and we mess around with that. Obviously, that didn't go anywhere. That didn't even leave the bedroom. So we kept writing, and then I realized I was able to express myself in a certain way
Right.
through the spoken word.
Right.
Now my poetry is very rhythmic, very, very close to rap, and that's what rap stands for, rhythmic American poetry.
Right.
So, you know, it just morphed. So I started writing at 14, kept writing. And around the time I was 25, you know, I put the pen down. I became a dad. So I was taking care of my family, focused on that, like hyper focused on that and everything else that came with that. And then around 2013 or so, you know, I had a change in my circumstance, and I was like, I had to find out who I was in that moment or in that life after. And so I started writing again. And I noticed my voice had changed, my tone had changed, things that I was thinking about totally changed, and we just kept going. And then I finally got courage enough to start sharing my poetry, or at least before then, like in 2011, I got the courage to at least share poetry with a few people that I was acquainted with. And they was like, man, this is awesome. You need to write a book. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And then you fast forward 8 years, and I'm around other artists, and I see that I can stand side by side with them and hold my own, or even create my own lane and stand alone, because my style is similar to others, but my content is its own.
Right.
So I'm looking at all my counterparts doing big things and pushing themselves, and you know, making albums and writing books, and I was like, why not me?
Right.
So that's what I started. I started pushing in that direction.
Yeah.
Instead of saying why not me, it's going me too. I'm included in this as well.
Yeah.
And you know, all it takes is time, patience, and some go get it. You know, you just got to go out and get it and make that thing happen. So,
Right.
but yeah.
Now you said you noticed when you started writing poetry, you noticed how you was able to express yourself more.
Right.
Can you explain that a little bit more? Because
With-
I asked you that because I say for me, coming from doing music first and then doing poetry now, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not worrying about a beat. Because
Right.
I feel like when you're doing music, you have to stay on beat and on rhythm, and you got to stay within the measure of the rhythm of the beat. So now I take away the beat, and now I could just write.
Right.
I'm free now.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, and my writing, and it being about, you know, me expressing myself, I'm able to say the things that I may not be able to say in just a regular
Music
conversation.
form. Okay.
Or just a regular conversation, because I'm like, no. With my writing, I can find a clever way to pass along a message.
Right.
Or within that realm, everybody's accepting of what they're hearing, you know, in that environment, in that poetry environment. And I realized that, and I was like, man, I can pass along this message. It could be counterproductive. Like one of the first poems that I wrote, or one of the first group of poems that I wrote, I had one called Charge. And I wrote it during a time where it was at the height of, or at the beginning of the Black Lives Matter movement. And our black brothers and sisters were being gunned down. And I was looking at how everybody was responding, right? How the community was responding. You know, they burning buildings and they looting and everything. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, that has nothing to do with what happened. Like how are we making this thing better? And with Charge, I was able to push out a message that was easy to digest for those that were listening, as opposed to being offended. Like, why are you coming back at us when this has happened to us? And it's kind of like, hey, we can come up with other solutions to overcome this or beat this or address this situation, but we can't create more chaos and expect things to get better, right? So I can talk from that point. And then, man, when I excuse me, when I talk about love, you know, I can again find a creative way to say you broke my heart, or hey, I want to be with you, or hey, this is how much I love you, or anything like that. And be very creative with metaphors and similes and everything